Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please email me directly. My email is tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today, we're discussing a lovely white gold dress watch launched at Buzzworld 2013. This is the Patek Philippe Calatrava 5227G-001. 39 millimeters in diameter, matched by only 9.4 millimeters of thickness, 46.4 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip, with a spacing between the lugs of 19 millimeters, vintage evocative in that regard. Taking a look at the watch on my wrist is 16 centimeters in circumference. It's a good fit. I could recommend this watch for a wrist as small as 14 centimeters circumference. It is bigger in some regards, broader across the wrist than some very traditionally sized dress watches, but it's nice and compact, and frankly, it'll cut a striking figure on a wrist down to 14 centimeters, maybe even 13 and a half, because it is so flat, and it has a lovely curvature to the lugs. They bend down and around the wrist rather than flaring out awkwardly at the edge, and the watch easily slides underneath a tight sleeve or dress cuff. Taking a look at the hardware and the software, you can see this is a Patek Philippe factory strap in outstanding condition, calfskin on the bottom, gloss black, large rectangular scale, alligator leather on the top. You can see it has a monotone black stitch and then a sheer cut side showing the layers of leather. There is some bolstering to add thickness. And then we have pull tab spring bars so you can easily remove the strap without tools, plus a lovely spade style Patek Philippe white gold pin buckle to match the white gold case. One of the most attractive features of this watch, the hollows of the lug profiles, deeply concave and mirror polished. They add a lot of character to a watch that's spare in its details, but the details it has are well chosen. You can see how the Hunter Caseback is almost completely invisible from the front and from the back. It's so well integrated into the case band you can barely notice it, and you can see how it tucks into the curvature of the case when viewed from the side. Everything's of high polish. It is gray gold, that is the 18-karat white gold that never needs to be rhodium plated, so it's a white metal all the way through. You can see it's a little bit warmer than rhodium plated white gold. That is what gray gold looks like. You can also see that the bezel is concave in profile, which creates the impression of a thinner watch with greater elegance. And if you look carefully, you can see that the crown is somewhat sunken into the case band, so it doesn't stick out quite as much. The bezel has a little bit of a box section profile to it, and it gives way to a lovely off-white or ecru coloration. Patek Philippe describes this gloss off-white lacquer as cream in color. The frame for the date, the hands, as well as the indices are all white gold, rhodium plated to make them silvery white. The hands at center are faceted for better contrast against the dial base. And then we have a dimple style polished minutes track outboard, and seconds track for that matter. The watch includes a rather spare Patek Philippe marquee and an origin statement down at 6 o'clock. It includes a quick set system, though it does not include a hacking seconds system. You can actually apply a little bit of back pressure to the crown and effectively achieve hacking to synchronize to a time down to the second. Turning it all over, it's true, you get a solid case back. They're not shorting you the gold, but the wonderful hidden hunter feature also ensures you get to see the movement for which you've paid. And this is a Patek Philippe caliber 324 SC, center seconds with a calendar, automatic winding with unidirectional action on ceramic rotor bearings. It has a 45-hour power reserve. It beats away at 8 beats per second. It has an anti-magnetic silicone hairspring on a rugged free-sprung balance that is the Gyromax design Patek Philippe has used since the early 1950s, and it has 29 jewels and 6-position adjustment. The 6-position adjustment, combined with the free-sprung architecture, the Patek Philippe seal, and the silicone hairspring, all combine to ensure this watch is rated from the factory at no worse than -3 plus 2 seconds per day. And of course, all of this is 30 meters water resistant. And while Patek Philippe does use mechanized process, for example, CNC and electrospark erosion, to start the fabrication of its movements, it finishes everything off right down to the bevels using hand treatments. So ultimately, it is a handcrafted movement. You can see the interior of the case is mirror polished, a wonderful canvas for personalization or customization should you choose. And of course, the level of detailing is outstanding. As you can see, the mirrored bevels are gorgeous. The Côte de Genève, both circular and linear, perfectly aligned, deep and gradiated. Black polished screw heads with chamfered slots in circumference, satinated wheels, and engine turning on the base plate, as well as the rotor center. Reach out to tmosso@thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.